Hi guys, it's Anonymous. How you guys doing? I'm coming here to give you guys episode one. Excuse me. Excuse me. Episode one of Luck and Logic review. So yeah. So what is Luck and Logic if Space World is all about? So, so sorry. Just trying to catch my breath. Just trying to catch my breath. But Luck and Logic is really all about where basically you have this MC character. He went berserk, something like that, or something. I don't know. It must have been like some kind of ancient attacker that he had back then or something like that. Or he must have regretted something that. Give me a second. Okay, all right. Sorry about that, guys. As I was saying, but it was just basically something that he regretted back then a long time ago. I don't think he did not really intentionally do this by accident or anything like that. That's what basically just seemed to me, and I was just kind of like wondering, wonder why why he did that, or maybe that's just one of his strong points, or basically just using just using that. Now, I really do not know how tanks really work all that well because I do know that they do work really well against RPGs and stuff like that. Because mainly the tank's job is supposed to protect everyone around the arena or whatever it is around the dungeon or the raid and stuff like that. Because you basically have all this stuff like that the monster is really trying to do and stuff like that, and they're trying to get you to die, and that's basically what they're trying to do. Sometimes these raids can last long, but sometimes they cannot last really all that long. It just depends. It just depends on the certain gear that everyone really has. And one thing I definitely do love about this is stuff like that because the monster is not like going way overboard of HP or anything like that. It pretty much just scans. It pretty much just scans of the different players in the game, and so that basically what the game does, it comes up and basically says like, basically says like, that can fight on even ground. Sometimes you get the upper hand, but sometimes you really don't. That's just really just depends. It just depends, basically what kind of monster that you're going up against, and that's the way I see it basically in this anime also as well too. Because if they were to say like if it's a 7.5 or 7.2 or 7.0, that's pretty dangerous. That's pretty dangerous because usually 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 that will be pretty easy. If there was like, maybe like a 3 or a 5, that would just be done like that or something like that. But if there was a higher case of that, then you got some serious issues because the one thing you also have to keep in mind is that because if you're just a tank, like I said before, you're supposed to make sure that everyone's okay. You must make sure that everyone's okay because if you're not doing your job right, then there's a likely very good possibility the tank's going to die and the DPS is going to die and the healer's going to die also well too. Because if the healer's not, if he or she's not doing what she's supposed to do, then yeah, they'll probably just kick her out and just basically like, yeah, we or him and just basically like, yeah, we don't want you because you're not doing what you're supposed to do and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's just basically what I think. That's just basically what I think. And then you got your most powerful melees also well too, which I mean, which I mean to be is that is probably a ranged DPS or a melee DPS also well too. Also well too. I mean, you could be almost any class you really want to. But I mean, even though that's just basically what it reminds me of and stuff like that, that's the reason why I think the MC character he fits as a perfect to basically to be a tank. And like I said before, his job is to make sure that no one dies. So that's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's supposed to do. Because I want to say this. I want to say this because when you're playing the game World of Warcraft, when you're playing the game World of Warcraft, don't expect like every dungeon is going to be easy or every raid is going to be easy. Because if you practice really a whole lot basically with them, it will basically just give you the grounding of the situation in the raid or in a dungeon that can help you out. I think practice really makes a difference in a role it does. And just that's just basically what I love about the anime also as well too, because practice is very very important, and it really actually is, and that can help out. It can help out the group and also the rest of the DPS and the healers also as well too. There's two things that really matters the most, or I would say maybe not. But the two things that really matters the most to me is that I would have to say the DPS really matters a lot, because the reason why I'm saying that the DPS really matters to me a lot is basically because you have some of them that are weak, you have some of them are very strong, because it really depends on what kind of lashing out attacks that the monster really has, that basically that he's doing. And the reason why the monster is just doing that, the reason why the monster is just doing that is just that the monster, and I'm not saying the monster is just not necessarily like trying to kill you or anything like that, but it's just basically, it just shows a sign that you're trying to do whatever you can to stay out of the trash and not get mixed up and stuff like that. And sometimes that really happens. It happens to me. It happens to everyone. It really does. I mean, nobody's perfect. Nobody's not. And and I know some people will just basically get upset. And the next thing, this is just basically, this is very important also as well too. It's the healers. Now, sometimes the healers may have a hard time trying to keep everybody up. That's understandable. That's understandable. If they cannot help like one or two, then that would be pretty normal. Even though that's not their faults, but even though that's just basically, it just tells me that they're basically being healed. It can restrain the mana of the magic that you're using, and it's very difficult to heal everybody in the DPS. The one thing I would say, the tank always comes first, because the reason why I'm saying that the tank always comes first, because he's basically is the one who's supposed to make sure that everybody stays alive. That's his job. That's basically what he's supposed to do. That's basically what he has to do. He has to make sure everyone is staying alive. The reason why I'm saying that is because I think the tank really matters the most, basically in dungeons and raids and stuff like that, and just basically just in this anime. That's what it basically tells me. But however, I will say this also well too, because sometimes tanks do major damage. Sometimes they don't. It just depends on the gear and stuff like that, and and that's what basically feels to me. And it's just like basically this anime. That's it. It just seems to me, and that's basically what I like. That's basically what I like about the anime. The one thing I really want to say is also about to I can't remember. I think it's called the Rise of the Shield Hero, because the Rise of the Shield Hero, I mean, he makes a good demonstration of basically what he does and stuff like that. And he can be pretty OP as a tank, because he can change his shields into different categories, just like the Warfare anime. I did like a couple weeks ago. I need to get back and watching that. Basically, she has all kinds of different um, antics, and basically that she really has. She could be a tank, she could be DPS, she could be healer. It's just this stuff like that. The reason why I'm saying this is because that really just tells me to be like, in a game you can have three aspects and you can just use them for those. And I think that's what really makes me think that Maple that she's really OP, and she's very strong, and she's very powerful. And it's just stuff like that. I remember like during the part of the end when I was basically the end of the end where she went up against the guy that we were all hoping for. It was one of the biggest fights I loved the most about the ending. But it was good. I mean, it was really good. But even though I love Luck and Logic, it's a really good anime, and I really do like it a whole lot. But I just want people just to know, just know, like I said before, I like the DPS a lot more better than the tank. But I'm not saying I hate the tank or anything like that. But I'm not saying that. And also the healers also well too, because the DPS may not seem to be first, but you basically just got basically, if you're the only one that's just basically healing the DPS, then you need to try to do a little bit more better. But like I said, we're keeping alive the DPS. It's a priority, and also the tank. It's a major priority also well too. So yeah, I guess I'm giving you guys some lessons here and stuff like that. So I didn't mean to go ramble on and stuff like that. But even though I'm just saying it because I've been playing World of Warcraft for a long time. I really have. I love playing it. I really do. I'm glad I'm back in the game and stuff like that. I know I said basically like a couple of years ago I'm not going to go back to World of Warcraft because I just didn't like the changes what they're doing with the game. I said I'm fed up with it. I had enough of it. I'm not gonna play it anymore. But here I am. I'm playing it. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Just let me know in the comments below. I just ask you guys please be very respectful in the comments below. I'm not trying to force anybody or something like that. I'm just asking this because YouTube is looking looking at my videos and also everybody else's videos as well, and also everybody else users that comments in the video and stuff. And the reason why is because of that, because I don't want you to think I'm not setting an example for you guys. So I just wanted to say that. But yeah, it was the Sunlights. It was us. You guys later. Take care. Hope you have a long day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up. And please hit the notification bell also too, so let me know you guys watching my videos. And please leave a comment below. So yeah, anyways, this is Sunlights. It was us. You guys later. Take care. Hope you have a long day. Take care. God bless. Remember, Jesus love you. I love you guys. Please stay safe. And remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care.